Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of big money, big names, and even bigger expectations. We're counting down the most expensive football transfers of all time. These are the deals that shook the sport, shattered records, and had fans and pundits talking for months. So, grab your popcorn, because this is going to be a wild ride through football's financial stratosphere. Let's kick things off with a name that dominated headlines: Paul Pogba. His return to Manchester United from Juventus in 2016 was a monumental moment. The fee was a then world record of €105 million. The French midfielder came back to Old Trafford with the #Pogback hashtag trending worldwide. He had left United for free just 4 years earlier, making this one of the most talked about and, let's be honest, ironic transfers in history. His second spell at United was a mixed bag of brilliant moments and frustrating inconsistency, but there's no denying the sheer spectacle of his record-breaking return. Next up, a transfer that sent shockwaves through La Liga. When Antoine Griezmann announced he was leaving Atletico Madrid, the big question was where he'd end up. The answer was Barcelona, who triggered his €120 million release clause in 2019. It was a controversial move, with Atletico claiming the deal was agreed upon before the clause dropped in price. On the pitch, Griezmann struggled to find his footing alongside Lionel Messi, often looking like a square peg in a round hole. Despite winning a Copa del Rey, his time at Camp Nou didn't quite live up to the massive price tag, and he eventually returned to Atletico. Speaking of Barcelona, let's talk about their spending spree following Neymar's departure. First on their list was Ousmane Dembele from Borussia Dortmund in 2017 for an initial €105 million, with add-ons taking it much higher, potentially up to €145 million. The young French winger was electric in Germany, and Barca saw him as the perfect replacement. However, his time in Catalonia was plagued by a series of unfortunate and persistent injuries. When he was fit, he showed flashes of absolute genius, but those moments were often too few and far between, making this transfer a huge what-if story. Just a few months after signing Dembele, Barcelona went back to the market in the January 2018 window. This time, they splashed out on Liverpool's midfield magician, Philippe Coutinho. The deal was worth a staggering €120 million plus another $40 million in potential add-ons, making him the most expensive winter transfer ever. The Brazilian was supposed to be the heir to Andres Iniesta, but it just never clicked for him at the Camp Nou. He couldn't replicate his Anfield form. Was loaned out to Bayern Munich, where he ironically scored against Barca in their infamous 8-2 defeat, and was eventually sold for a massive loss. A tough lesson in transfer market gambles, now for a player who truly lit up the world stage, João Felix. After a sensational breakout season with Benfica, Atletico Madrid shattered their transfer record in 2019 to sign the Portuguese wonderkid for €126 million. He was brought in to be the new face of the club after Griezmann's departure. Touted as the next big thing, Felix has shown moments of undeniable brilliance and technical skill. He helped Atletico win the La Liga title in 2021, but there's a feeling among many fans that he still hasn't consistently reached the world-beating potential that his price tag suggests. His journey is far from over, though. Let's move on to the player who was, for a time, the most expensive teenager in history, Kylian Mbappé. After his explosive debut season with Monaco, where he led them to a Ligue 1 title and the Champions League semi-finals, the entire world wanted him. Paris Saint-Germain won the race, initially signing him on loan in 2017, before making the move permanent a year later for an eye-watering €180 million. What can you say about Mbappé? He's been an absolute phenomenon. A World Cup winner, PSG's all-time leading goal scorer, and a constant threat with his blistering pace and lethal finishing. This was one mega deal that has absolutely, unequivocally paid off. He was worth every single cent and has now moved to Real Madrid on a free transfer, which is just mind-blowing in itself. And that brings us to the number one spot, the transfer that didn't just break the record, it completely obliterated it. The deal that changed the landscape of football finance forever. In the summer of 2017, Paris Saint-Germain did the unthinkable. They activated the €222 million release clause in Neymar Jr.'s Barcelona contract. That's more than double the previous world record. The move was a massive statement of intent from PSG's Qatari owners, showing they could attract the very best talent on the planet. Neymar's time in Paris has been a roller coaster. He's produced moments of pure magic and has an incredible goal and assist record, but injuries have often kept him out of crucial Champions League ties. Whether you think it was a success or not, one thing is certain: the Neymar transfer to PSG is the undisputed king of expensive deals and will be remembered as a pivotal moment in the history of the sport. Recently, he also made another big money move to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia for around 90 million euros, showing he's still one of the most valuable names in the game. But wait, the story of nine-figure transfers doesn't end there. In recent years, we've seen a new wave of massive spending. Chelsea, for instance, has been a major player. They signed Argentine midfielder Enzo Fernandez from Benfica for 121 million euros after he starred in the World Cup. Not long after, they broke the British transfer record again to bring in Moises Caicedo from Brighton for a fee that could rise to 133 million euros. These deals show that even after the Neymar shockwave, clubs are still willing to pay astronomical fees for top talent, especially for young, promising midfielders who can control the game. And we can't forget about the new powerhouse in town, the Saudi Pro League. Their ambition has shaken the transfer market. Besides Neymar, we've seen huge contracts and transfer fees for players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Sadio Mane, and many more. While some are free transfers with massive wages, the fees for players still under contract, like Neymar, have been enormous. It's a new dynamic in world football, and it's forcing everyone to pay attention. The financial power on display is unlike anything we've seen before, and it's likely to produce even more record-breaking transfers in the coming years. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of football's most expensive transfers. From Pogba's hyped-up return to Neymar's market-shattering move, these deals are a huge part of modern football's story. They bring immense pressure, huge expectations, and endless debate. Sometimes they work out spectacularly, and other times they serve as a cautionary tale. What do you think was the best and worst mega transfer of all time? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one.